The foam on these Seadoo boarding steps really tends to degrade with some age. I mean, look at this one. It's ripped, it's torn, it's falling off. Now, you could go to the dealership and buy a whole new boarding step to fix it, but I'm going to show you a way that you can save a few dollars and replace this foam relatively easily. So right here, on either side, we have a 10mm nut and a 5mm hex. So if we take our hex, there we have our bar. Let's take this bar and I'll show you what we're going to do. So now that we've got our bar removed, we need to get rid of this old foam, which shouldn't be that difficult considering how degraded this stuff is. It's falling apart. It's tougher than I expected though. There we have option number one. Of course, if that's all we were going to do, we wouldn't have had to take this off the machine. Now what I've got here is pipe insulation, but it's not the type that you traditionally see that's split. This is one solid piece of pipe insulation, which means one of these is going to be the right size, and whichever one it is, I'm going to have a link to in the description so you can do this to your Seadoo. But we're going to use some soapy water, cut this to the right size, and slide this onto the bar. So essentially it looks like I'm going to want about half of this to make a nice, half will make a nice amount, and that way you've got enough to do two. So let's just take this and we are going to snip that right in half with a pair of scissors. Now this is the bigger of the two sizes. I'm going to preemptively grab a little soapy water, spray this down in there, and see if we can't work this over our pipe. So the further you get it on, especially once you start going around the corners, it is going to get more and more difficult. So you could use more soapy water, make sure everything's good and warm, or you can get an air compressor, put a little air down into here, and I guess we'll have to plug this end and make sure that I can get this somewhere where you can see it. That doesn't work at all. So that was one tip that I saw on the internet, and that's rubbish. So we're just going to take and work this on a little at a time. We get a little spritz of soapy water down in there, maybe even just put a little right on the tube, and just kind of and there we have it. That is on there. After that soapy water dries, it'll cling to that a little bit better, but that is pretty good. So that's all you need to do. Let's go put this back on the machine and it's good to go. Now these things are spring loaded, so for reinstallation, I'm going to pull that out just a little bit, over here, pull this one out, just line these up, and then rock it in there. Okay, that one is at the right spot now. Put that through. Start it up. Let's see, where is this one at? Right there. Get our wrench and our hex key back. There we have it. Our new foam padding is on, and this thing is looking as good as new. So this foam padding will, after time, degrade about the same, but as you saw, it's not hard to replace. So this is something you can tackle on your Seadoo to make getting on and off that boarding step just a little bit nicer on your hands and feet. So hopefully this has been helpful to you, and you can find everything you need to try this yourself down in the description. And until next time, we'll see you later.